All right, so again, page 9 in your pink notes packet. We're going to begin our exploration of distance. Today our focus is going to be finding the distance or the length between 2 points on a number line. Tomorrow we'll talk about how to find the distance or the length between 2 points that are on an XY axis where we have ordered pairs. But today we're just going to look at a number line example. So if I want to find the distance between any 2 points on the number line, I need to identify those 2 points. In this case, we have P and Q. We're going to take whatever their numbers on the number line are, and we're going to subtract those, and then we will find the absolute value of that. I don't know if you guys talked about absolute value in Algebra 1. Absolute value is the distance away from 0. It takes any number and it turns it positive. For example, if I were to drive from Indianapolis down to Louisville, even though I'm driving south, I would never say I'm driving negative 127 miles. Distance is always a positive value, and absolute value will take all of our numbers and turn them into positive since we're talking about distance here. So let's look at how to actually do this. Let's pretend that point P is at 3 on the number line, and point Q is at 7 on the number line. To find the length or the distance from P to Q, we're going to do the absolute value. This is going to look like 2 bars, almost like parentheses, but not curved, 2 bars on either side. We're going to subtract these 2 numbers. So I can do 7 minus 3 inside these absolute value bars. It's going to make it positive in case it comes out negative. What is 7 minus 3? 4. So inside the absolute value, I have 4. How far away is 4 from 0 on the number line? How many hops over? 4 hops. So the distance from P to Q would be 4. Excuse me. It does not matter which order I put these points in. I could flip it around the other way and do 3 minus 7 instead of 7 minus 3. Does anybody know what 3 minus 7 is? Negative 4. And the absolute value of negative 4, this is the distance away from 0 on the number line. How many hops would it take you from 0 to get over to negative 4 on the number line? Still 4 hops. So no matter which way I do it, I end up with the same answer here. Segment PQ is 4 units long. The order in which we name our points is not important when we're finding the distance. All right. So let's do a couple problems to practice this. Let's look at number 1, part A. We're going to use this number line to find CF. Notice there is nothing over the top of CF. Does anybody remember what it means when there's no dash, there's no arrows over the top? It does end. It means something a little bit more specific than that, but it does end. It means the length or the distance, yes. So we're going to find the length or the distance of segment CF. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to look at point C. We're going to look at point F. And we're going to ignore everything else over here. We want to find the length or the distance from this point here over to this point here. So CF equals, and then I need my absolute value bars. And I'm going to take those 2 numbers and I'm going to subtract them. Which number do you want me to write down first, the 5 or the -1? Doesn't matter. Pick one for me. 5? Sounds good. 5 minus, because my formula has a minus. I'm always minusing these two. So 5 minus, and then I have a negative number. So he has to go inside parentheses. It's not 5 minus 1, it's 5 minus -1. What happens when you subtract a negative number? Becomes a positive. So this really turns into 5 plus 1. What's 5 plus 1? 6. And how far is 6 away from 0 on the number line? 6 hops, 6 units. We could have done it with the points turned around the other way. We could have had the -1 first and then -5. What is -1 minus 5? -6. And how far away is -6 from 0? 6 units. Absolute value takes my answer and makes it a positive number. So it doesn't matter which order I do these points in. I want you guys to take about 1 minute and do part B. Take 1 minute and do part B. Oh, yes, tap that for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Okay, so if you put the -5 first, then it would just be -7. So -5 minus 7. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
2, -2.
It's not going to be -2. So you're starting at -5 on the number line,
Yeah.
and then you're going to move 7 more units to the left because you're minusing 7. If you owe your friend $5 and then you owe me $7, how much do you owe somebody? Like, how much do you owe total? Close. 5 and 7, not 7 and 7.
12.
All right. What'd you guys get? 12. You can do 7 minus -5. The minus negative would turn it positive. And so then we would have the absolute value of 12, which is just 12. Or you could have set this up as the absolute value of -5 minus 7, which would give you the absolute value of -12, which comes out to be the exact same answer. So either way you set that up, you should get 12 as your answer. All right, let's look at number 2, and that's where we're going to stop for today. Number 2, I want to use distance to figure out whether things are congruent. What does congruent mean again? Same size. Or same length. All right, so we need to find the length from C to B. Well, here's C and here's B. So I want to find that length there. From C to B, that is the absolute value of -3 minus -1, or you could turn the numbers around the other way. What happens when I minus a negative again? Turns into a positive. Thank you, sir. What is negative 3 plus 1? Negative 2. And the absolute value of negative 2 is 2. So this segment is 2 units long. And then we also need to find the length of segment DF. So from this point right here, D, over to this point right here, F. From D to F, that's the absolute value of what goes inside the bars? 5 minus 2, or 2 minus 5. What is 5 minus 2? 3. What's the absolute value of 3? 3. So one of my segments is 2, the other segment is 3. Are these two segments congruent? No, why not? They're not the same size. Segment CB is not congruent with a slash through it, is not congruent to DF because 2 does not equal 3. 2 was the length of CB. 3 was the length of DF. I would like you guys to try part B on your own. Take about 2 minutes to do that. How big is segment AC? 6. Yeah, 5 minus negative 1. I'm at negative 5 on the number line, and then a minus 1 means I take 1 hop to the left. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6. And the absolute value of negative 6 is 6. I'm sorry, did I answer your question? So subtracting is what our rule is. We always minus the points. That's a great question. How big is segment BD? 5. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. So I get a 5-unit segment here and a 6-unit segment here. Are they congruent? No. Segment AC is not congruent to segment BD because 6 does not equal 5. This is segment AC. This is segment BD. All right, that is where we are going to stop for today. The homework that you guys grabbed on your way in the door is due on Monday. Of all of the problems on the homework, you can do all but 5 of them with what we learned today. You can do the entire front side, so all of the front side problems, and then you can do the very last problem on the back side, number 43. You can do all the front side and the very last problem on the back. If you get those knocked out today, then you're leaving yourself only 5 problems to do over the weekend, which you can probably get done before the end of the school day tomorrow. And that way you don't have to worry about homework over the weekend. I need you to now clear your desk off. All notes, books, phones, anything needs to be put away. The only thing that should be out is a writing utensil. And if you would like to borrow a yellow calculator from me, you are welcome to do so. Come and grab a yellow calculator.